stuff for dessert. So, here's what's been going on. Trump has been avoiding doing a lot of interviews. He's just been doing like some friendly ones. He recently got into a position where 60 Minutes every year since like the 67 or 68 has hosted both presidential candidates to do a 60 Minutes interview. So it's an hour. You know, it's tough questioning for the most part, not super tough, but still tough questioning about your policies, what you're going to do. Kamala Harris did one. She did really well. You know, they tried to do some gotcha stuff, and she handled it real well. Laid out her platform really good. Trump, on the other end, bailed. Said he wouldn't do it. He had a bunch of caveats, like they couldn't fact check him. Like, once again, the fact check. You know, I have to be able to lie. You guys got to let me lie. And he wanted Lesley Stahl, who works for 60 Minutes, to apologize to him for something that she said in their 2020 interview, where he got all upset and left like 20 minutes into it, except for the fact that the thing he wants her to apologize for saying, she didn't say. It was something stupid. But here's Morning Joe. They're going to talk about it. Then we're going to skip to the interview he actually did do, which is basically what we've been waiting for all morning. So here it is. Here's Morning Joe first, and then we'll get to it. Gonna wait just a little bit longer.
There are 28 days until Election Day. And last night, CBS aired its 60 Minutes interview with Kamala Harris. Now, the program has interviewed the candidates in every presidential election dating back to 1968. But Donald Trump backed out this year. And before airing the interview with Vice President Harris, 60 Minutes began with a note about Trump. Here's part of that explanation.
It's been a tradition for more than half a century that the major party candidates for president sit down with 60 Minutes in October. In 1968, it was Richard Nixon and Hubert Humphrey. This year, Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump accepted our invitation. But unfortunately, last week, Trump canceled. The campaign offered shifting explanations. First, it complained that we would fact-check the interview. We fact-check every story. Later, Trump said he needed an apology for his interview in 2020. Trump claims correspondent Lesley Stahl said in that interview that Hunter Biden's controversial laptop came from Russia. She never said that. Trump has said his opponent doesn't do interviews because she can't handle them. He had previously declined another debate with Harris, so tonight may have been the largest audience for the candidates between now and Election Day.
It is true. He turned down his chance, because the debate was, 65 million people watched the presidential debate between him and Kamala. And she, curb stomped him. It was great. This is a chance. Her one, I didn't see the actual numbers, but tens of millions of people watched her 60 Minutes interview. This was Trump's one last chance to really get out in front of the public, and he didn't do it.
He should have wanted this one, because this is one where he can have the limelight, and he literally actually doesn't have to go against her. Right. Clearly she's going to come up, and some of her policies are going to come up, but he doesn't actually have to debate her. He does not have to sound better than her. He doesn't, you know what I mean? He could just absorb the spotlight. Mm-hmm. And try to win over voters without her being so directly in his face.
Yeah, but the him having to lean over, and I think he fell off the stool at one point this last week during an interview, and the slurring is really bad, and he's not making any sense. I bet it's his campaign is look, the less people see of him, the less they're reminded of what a train wreck he is. So we just need to keep him under wraps as much as possible.